Hello, hello, my sunshines. Welcome back and thanks for popping in. I am so glad you're here. So for today's video, I have two Ipsy bags to share with you. As usual, I have tried everything on my face and boy, do I have some opinions this time. There's some really good stuff in these bags, but there's also some really stinky stuff in my opinion. And there's one item that's just plain odd. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. If you don't know, Ipsy has two monthly beauty bags you can choose from. There is their Glam Bag, which is $13 a month. Every month you're gonna get a different little zipper pouch with 5 sample or trial size products. Most months I feel like I get at least one full size product in here, and one of which you're able to customize. For $13, I think that is one of the best deals in the subscription box world. If you're looking for just a little bit more, you want some full-size products, then you can get their Glam Bag Plus. This is going to give you 5 full-size products for $28. 3 of the items in the bag you are able to customize. Now starting, I believe it was last month, Ipsy is now charging a $1.99 handling fee. It's just the way of the economy. It's nothing you can change by complaining about it. I'm just letting you know that is going on. So let's go ahead and start with the Glam Bag Plus. I feel like that's the bag that I have the most to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is the palette. I pulled out this palette and I was like, come again? And I sat here and stared at it 3 or 4 minutes. I sounded it out. I could not figure out this font and what it said. Can you guys? I feel like unless you know this brand, you probably would not be able to read it. I took it up to my daughter. I was like, can you read it? She was sounding it out, trying to read it. And finally she turned it over and we found a name on the back. It's Reina, R-E-I-N-A, Reblade. That's what it says on the front. Now I gotta say, that is not Ipsy's fault that I cannot read the font. I feel like that's kind of a bad branding in my opinion. Unless you know this brand, it's real hard to read, okay? I'm not going to ding it for that. It was just interesting. There's little moths or butterflies all over it. I did look up this company because I wasn't familiar with it. It is a Latina brand. It's vegan, cruelty-free, phthalate-free. It seemed like it had a lot of really great things going for it. Their packaging I thought was really beautiful in terms of art. This graphic is very pretty. They have a velvet makeup bag that has this on it. So it felt to me like all of their budget went to their art, because when you open it up, this is just like a basic cardboard package. Like it felt like they went to the factory. They said, this is the cheapest one we can give you. And that's what they went with. Now, when you open it up, it looks pretty. It doesn't have a mirror or anything, but it looks pretty. I started putting this on my eyes, you guys, and there's just nothing to it. I would put it on my eyes and then go to blend it and it would just dissipate. Like it was gone. I was like, where is it? I ended up using this highlighter, which I don't really know that you can see. I can't really see it in the camera. I thought it was a little patchy, a little chalky, a little dry. Finally, trying to get this palette to do something, I ended up using the blush. There's a blush, a highlighter, and then 4 eyeshadow pigments. I used the blush around my eyes. That's what I ended up having to do in order to get this palette to work. So again, like I said, they went into the factory and they said, this is like the basic bottom line packaging we can give you. That's what it feels like happened with the pigments too. So again, I felt like the marketing was kind of wrong on this. I feel like they spent all of their money on their artwork, which is beautiful, but I just really, really didn't like this palette. I took it to my daughter. She played with it for a little while. I said, do you want it? And she said no. Now, when a 19-year-old girl who loves makeup says no to a palette, I feel like that says it all. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Oh, just by the way, the theme of this month's bags are creature comforts, which are really, really cute. I feel like I didn't give you much look at the bags, but they've got these. This one has an orange little tie. Going on a girls trip, this is going to be perfect to put like my hair stuff in, but you can also reuse these for like fun gift bags or something. Okay, the next item in here, we're just gonna stick with the bad. Was this lipstick. This lipstick is called M2U NYC. It is a matte liquid lip. The color is very dark. I don't know if the darkness is showing on the camera. It is a beautiful shade. It's like this deep, but it has a little bit of brightness, raspberry. However, I found this really hard to use, just like the palette. It reminds me why I don't like matte lipsticks. I put it on. My lips don't have any like chapped or dry pieces, but it made my lips look so bad. Like any imperfection, it just highlighted it. And I felt like my lips aren't really imperfect right now. They're not chapped or anything. I was trying to get it in the corner. You know how liquid lipsticks, you kind of have to kind of work it in. And I was kind of smudging it. I got it on my face. I was trying to get it off my face. It smeared up my face. The same thing happened to my daughter, only up on her top lip. I saw it kind of smear. It was hard to work with. Now, I will say, my daughter really liked it. She liked it. She's like, Mom, liquid lipsticks are just harder to work with. It looked beautiful on her. And I will say she did want this, and I'm happy to give it to her. Color, absolutely stunning, but I just didn't like the way it performed, the way it looked on my lips. I'm just a bullet girl, and I like the buttery, creamy lipsticks. All right, let's talk about the good stuff now. We got a Pure Lease Pumpkin and Ginger Detoxifying Charcoal Mask. Now, I will say anything with the 3 Ps, pumpkin, pineapple, and papaya, the enzymes in those just eat away at your dead skin and like leave your skin feeling really clean, really smooth, and kind of glowy. This has pumpkin in it. It's a kind of a white charcoal color. I'll show you. Pull it out just a little bit. And it's got granules in it. So you put it on your face and kind of rub it in, and you can kind of feel the exfoliating little sand, beads, sugar, I'm not really sure. And then you leave it on for about 10 minutes. You can feel it getting hard and tight. And then you just rinse it off with warm water. I really liked this. I don't typically gravitate toward these kind of masks in a tube. I like sheet masks better. But I have to say, I really liked that it had some exfoliating properties in it when you put it on. It was really easy to use. It wasn't super messy because of the color. As a matter of fact, you couldn't even really tell that it was on my face. It wasn't like I was going to turn the corner in the kitchen and my husband was going to be like, oh my gosh, because I had some crazy green mask on or something. So I did really like this, and I'm going to be happy to use that. The next thing we got, and this is a brand I'm starting to see a little bit more in Ipsy. It is the Shades of Sean, and it's I'm not sure if Sean's a girl or a boy, setting spray. And this is lovely. I was very surprised by how much I liked this. It has no scent to it. Sometimes setting sprays I feel like have like an alcohol-y scent, or they're very fragranced with like perfumes or beachy or whatever. This one has no scent, and the mist on this is so, let me see if I can show you, so fine. Do you see how long, look, let me do one more pump. You can see how long the pump lasts. That's got a good spray to it. I like it. And honestly, I've only used it one time. I used it today, but as long as it continues to perform throughout the day, I would consider repurchasing this. So that was another item I really liked. Then last, we got these iconic London brushes. These brushes, the jury's still out on, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, nope, there's another one. Thought maybe I left one downstairs. They're this pretty white with gold. This is what they look like. You can tell that I started using them just a little bit. I like them. They're firm, which I like. I don't like when I get an eyeshadow brush and it's just so flimsy that it's not doing what I need it to do. I like this flatter one. You've got like a little pointy one, so you can get like under your eyes, or if you wanted to do eyeshadow for eyeliner. You've got 2 more fluffy brushes. This one you could even use for highlighter if you wanted. I will say though, I feel like I need to break them in a little bit. They're almost too stiff. I didn't think that would be a thing, but it really is. So I'm going to continue to work with these. I used them for my eyes, but I went back to my old brushes because they are just a little bit stiff. So I think if I just use them for a week or 2, I think they're going to be okay. They're very pretty. I like them. I just think they need a little working in. Okay, so that was my Glam Bag Plus. 2 of the things I thought, don't like them. 3 of the things I thought they did a really good job. And honestly, Pure Lease is an expensive brand. This one product probably paid the $28 for the whole bag. So if you don't like a thing or 2, I still think you definitely get your money's worth with that bag. That's just my opinion. Now let's talk about the little Glam Bag. Look how cute this is with the orange stripe. It looks very inspired by a higher handbag brand maybe. All right, so the first thing I got in here, I thought this was a lip balm at first. It's by Kinship. I've had lip balms by Kinship before, and I think because it was in a little, the picture showed a little tub, I thought that's what it was. This is not though. It is a gel moisturizer. It's called the Super Mellow Hydrating Gel Cream, and I loved it. I loved it. It comes out looking like a cream, but then when you start to rub it in, it kind of does turn into like a water or a gel. It's not very thick at all, which I like. I like a moisturizer that's very light and just soaks into the skin quickly, and this one does it. It has a slight marshmallow or vanilla scent, very, very light. I don't know if that's just ingredients, but it's pretty. You're not gonna smell it on your skin unless you're like right there sniffing it. Happy for that. I kind of felt like I wanted a full size of this. I would love to see a full size of this in a future Glam Bag Plus. The next thing we got is the It Lash Blowout Mascara. I thought this was fine. It was lovely. There was nothing bad about it. Didn't stand out as like, oh my gosh, this is the best mascara ever. I liked the wand. It wasn't clumpy. It lifted and separated. I thought it did a really good job. So this is going straight into my makeup bag because the current mascara I'm using is dried out. All right, now this I have to say totally beat the more, I call this the expensive palette because this is only a little quad. This is by PYT Beauty, and it is the Party in the Nude palette. And this is what it looks like. So I used most of this on my eyes. I just couldn't get that other one to work other than using the blush. So I used the blush from the other palette kind of under my eye, and then I created the look with this palette, and it's really beautiful. You've got 2 matte shades, 2 shimmer shades. I think this is a really easy nude look. I'm kind of wearing orange, and it still kind of works. Looks like you would be, it would look better with like roses, but it really did kind of work well with the oranges that I'm wearing. I liked this. I'm not sure that I know much about this brand either, PYT. I do appreciate that Ipsy finds these indie brands for us to try, but sometimes I feel like they don't vet them very well. That's just my opinion. All right, the next thing we got is this is by Gloss Moderne Clean Luxury Perfume Oil, and it's called Universal. So I'm wondering if that's both male and female. It is just got a roller ball, and it is a perfume oil. I put this on my wrists. I put it on my kind of my pulse points in my neck. I don't really smell it. As I was doing my hair, I was kind of like sniffing to see if I could smell it. It's not very strong at all. It's very, very light. Even with it on my body, I can't smell it unless it's right up there. So I feel like I would have to like roll this all over the top of my body in order to be able to smell it. So, did I like it? I don't know. It's light. It's a little bit floral. It feels almost summery, not really like a fall winter scent. It feels very light and summery. Anyway, that was all right. The last thing is the strange thing that I was talking about. I'm still not sure how this item ended up in our bag. It is by Juicy Couture, and it is the Honeybee Fine Fragranced Soy Candle. We got a candle in a beauty bag. So it says wild honey, creamy vanilla, and orange blossom is the scent. Now I gotta say, I didn't show you the front of it. It smells real, real good. It smells so good. Like I want this in a full size. I don't know how much a Juicy Couture candle is. To be honest with you, the packaging kind of looks like Walgreens or CVS, and I shop Walgreens and CVS. There's no shade there. But that's kind of what the packaging looks like. It smells incredible. This almost feels to me, and I know Ipsy had an advent calendar. I didn't watch any of the advent calendar unboxings. I just wasn't into the beauty advent calendars this year. This kind of feels like they had it in the advent calendar and they had extra, so they just shoved it in the bag. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that's what it feels like. I'm not mad at it though. It smells really, really good. It feels like it would scent an entire big room because it's got some punch to it. So I'm going to try that. Those were my Ipsy bags. What did you get in your Ipsy bags? Were yours better than mine? Did you get this Rena reblade palette. If you had different thoughts, let me know, because sometimes I'm like, is it just me? And sometimes it is just me. You guys like the things that I don't, or I like the things that you don't, and I love hearing your opinions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider hitting that subscription button, and I'll see you soon for another one, guys. Bye-bye.